Hi everyone, today we're doing lesson 5-6 application. We are going to apply what we have learned about parallel and perpendicular lines. So in this part of our mini unit, we started with talking about what happens if we change the slope, what happens if we change the y-intercept. We also talked about the three forms of linear equations and how to best apply them. We wrote parallel lines, we wrote perpendicular lines, and today we're going to solve problems involving them. So, quick review. Parallel lines have, hopefully you remember it, the same slope versus the slopes of perpendicular lines that are opposite reciprocals. So if one's positive, the other is negative, and then you flip it upside down. So, if the following things were graphed on a coordinate plane, what shape would they make? Well, let's see what happens. I have y equals 2x plus 5. Why can't I draw lines that straight when I want to? My y-intercept on this one is 5, and my slope is 2, so down 2 to the left 1. Since I'm going down, I have to go left to keep it positive. I don't know how big I need to make this, so I'm going to put as many dots as I can. And that's as far as I can go. Connect my points as best I can. I wish I could draw straighter lines. You've heard that before. Okay, my next one, I will do this one. Negative 1/2 x minus 6. So my y-intercept is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it was there, but sometimes the numbering on other things are wrong. My slope is negative 1/2. So I'm going to rise 1, go to the left 2. Rise 1, left 2. Rise 1, left 2. And I'm going to connect those points. Notice that these two lines, the slopes are opposite reciprocal, so this should form a right angle. Let's look at my next one. I have y equals 2x minus 3. Well, that has the same slope as my first one, so those two lines are going to be parallel. My y-intercept is negative 3. My slope is 2, so I'm going to go down 2, left 1. I can't go down 2 again. So I'm going to go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and up 2, right 1. And my line will go like this. And make it nice and wiggly. And I do want it to cross, so I'm going to just keep going. It would be about here somewhere. Again, I have another right angle. These two lines are parallel, and since this one is perpendicular to this one will also be perpendicular to this one. I think you get an idea of what my shape is going to be. My next line is negative 1/2 x plus 4. Same slope as this one, so these two are going to be parallel, the green and the purple, and it's going to be perpendicular to the other two lines. My y-intercept is 4, so it is up here. My slope is negative 1/2, so down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, up 1, left 2. And when I connect those, you'll see that my shape inside here is, in fact, a rectangle. You could tell because all the slopes of each pair are the adjacent lines are opposite reciprocal. So these two are the same slope, so they will be parallel. These two are the same slope, so they're going to be parallel. And they're opposite reciprocal, so they're going to form right angles. Okay, what do you think this would make? I have some interesting things here. Let's take a look. Y equals 3. Remember, we have y which means a horizontal line with 0 slope, and it's a y equals equation, which means I'm going to have a horizontal line at y equals 1, 2, 3. It's going to go straight across this way. I also have a y equals -5. So I'm going to make that one too. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. I may as well change my pen color though, so we can see which one it is. And it's going to also be a horizontal line. Draw that a little neater, but the idea. Should have a break in it. I have an x equals -6. Might want to remember you have your VUX. Vertical lines with an undefined slope are x equals. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is right here. And it is a vertical line. So I'm going to have to extend my other two lines to meet up with that one. My last one is not an x equals, and therefore it is not going to make a rectangle. Let's see what it's going to make. Y equals -2x plus 7. Oh wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be up here. Why did we not give us a graph that's big enough? My slope is -2, so I'm going to go down 1, 2 over 1. Down 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. 1, 2 over 1. And 1, 2 over 1. And I will have a line that goes this way. Again, I'm going to need to extend this line so it intersects. And what shape is that? If you remember your shapes from 6th grade geometry, that is a trapezoid. There's one pair of parallel sides. And they were my y equals. Those were my parallel sides. Which of these have parallel lines? Well, neither of them are written in y equals mx plus b, so I would need to do that. I'm going to do this one first. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. And divide by 4. So I'd have y equals 6 over 4 is the same as 3 over 2. 3 over 2x. And 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. Let's do this one. 2x minus 3y equals 9. I would have to subtract 2x from both sides. I get negative 3y. And I can already see that these are not going to be parallel. There's negative 2x. Plus 9. Because when I divide these by negative 3, I'm going to have 2/3, not 3/2. So my second one is y equals 2/3 x. They're not perpendicular either. And 9 divided by -3 is -3. So nope. Let's look at my next one here. This one is in standard form. This one's already written in slope-intercept form. So is this one. That's going to make that a little easier. So let's rewrite this one in slope-intercept form. I have 4x minus 8y equals 8. I need to subtract 4x from both sides. And I get negative 8y equals negative 4x plus 8. Again, I can already see these are not going to be parallel because when I divide everything by negative 8, I end up with negative 4 over negative 8, which is positive 1/2. So that is y equals 1/2 x, and 8 divided by negative 8 is -1. So again, not parallel. They're also not perpendicular because they're both positive. So I'm guessing this is going to be my correct answer, but we better do it. 9x minus 3y. Some of you get in the habit if you didn't get the right answer the first time and the second time, so you assume the third one is the right answer. But if you do it and you don't get the right answer, it means you might have done something wrong with the first two. So it's always good to verify that you do, in this case, get the same slope for your problems. I'm assuming we did it right, but I'm still checking. I have negative 3y equals negative 9x plus 12. And my last step is going to divide everything by negative 3. This will cancel out and I get y equals negative 9x divided by negative 3 is going to be a 3x. And 12 divided by negative 3 is -4. So this one is my parallel line because they have the same slope. Find the y-intercept of the line that passes through this and is perpendicular to this. Okay, so it's going to pass through this point and it's perpendicular to this. Well, if it's perpendicular, you know it's going to be y equals negative 3 over 2 because the opposite reciprocal of 2/3 is negative 3 over 2. So we need to find that y-intercept. So which form do you want to use? Let's do point slope form. Y minus 8 equals negative 3 over 2 x minus 4. When I distribute, I'll have y minus 8 equals negative 3 over 2x. And 3 over 2 times negative 3 over 2 times negative 4 is going to be a positive 6. My last step, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And I get y equals negative 3 over 2x. And 6 plus 8 is 14. So my equation of my line will be this. But that's not what the question was. The question was, what is the y-intercept? Well, that is right here. That is my 14. The line passing through which 2 points is parallel to this line? Oh, goodness. Well, this line, let's find the slope first. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And I'll get negative 2y equals negative x plus 16. And my last step will be divide everything by negative 2. Attacking parallel lines, so I'm looking for the same slope. So this is going to be y equals negative over negative is a positive. And there's my invisible 1, so it's going to be 1/2 x. And 16 over negative 2 is negative 8. So I'm looking for a slope of 1/2. Well, let's look. All I need to know is what the slope of each of these will be, so I just need to use my slope formula. 7 minus negative 3 over negative 5 minus 0. Now this would become plus. 7 minus 3 is 10. Negative 5 minus 0 is negative 5. The slope of a line with these 2 points would be negative 2. That is not 1/2. This one would be perpendicular to this line, not parallel. Okay, 5 minus 13 and negative 1 minus 3. Well, 5 minus 13 is negative 8. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. Negative over positive is, negative over negative is a positive. 8 over 4 is 2. Again, not the same as 1/2. Hopefully this one is. 7 minus 8 and negative 4 minus negative 2. I have minus and negative, so that's going to become plus. 7 minus 8 is negative 1. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Negative over negative is a positive. 1/2. C is my correct answer. Some of these require a lot of work to figure out. I didn't have to write the equations of the lines there, though. Okay. It says the brace is, I don't know what that was supposed to be, something to the roof line. Oh, perpendicular. I'm like, what the heck is that symbol? Perpendicular to the roof line. So this brace is perpendicular to this roof line. This would form a 90-degree angle right here. the roofline's equation, so this equation is y equals 2/7 x plus 8. What's the equation of this brace? Well, we know that it has to be an opposite reciprocal. What is the opposite reciprocal of 2/7? That's going to be negative 7 over 2. So I don't even need to know what my intercept would be. The only one that has the correct slope for a perpendicular line is D, negative 7 over 2. Which equation describes a line that's perpendicular to this one? Well, first we better know what this slope is. I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. Do I even care about the y-intercept? No, not really. I really only care about the slope. There's some things I would care, but for this, I really don't. Negative 7y equals negative 6x plus 10. Divide everything by negative 7. This equation written in slope-intercept form is y equals, I have a negative over a negative, so that's going to be a positive 6/7 x, and then I have 10 over negative 7, so that's going to be negative 10/7. Like I said, I don't really care about my y-intercept. Okay, for this one, I'm going to need to divide everything by negative 7. And you can right away see that I'm going to end up with y equals negative 6/7 x minus 5/7. For perpendicular, I need opposite reciprocal, which means I need a negative 7 over 6. That's what I'm looking for. This is negative 6 over 7. It doesn't work. For this one, I'm going to have to subtract 6x from both sides. And I'll get 7y equals negative 6x plus 5. My last step, I need to divide everything by 7. And again, I'm going to end up with a slope that doesn't work. I get y equals negative, this is a negative, I kind of lost it there a little bit, 6/7 x plus 5/7. This one looks promising because this one was upside down and I had a 6 on my x and a 7 on my y. This time I have a 7 on my x and a 6 on my y. That at least looks promising. Subtract 7x from both sides. And I get 6y equals negative 7x plus 5. Last step, I need to divide everything by 6. And I get y equals negative 7, 6x. Oops, this was funny. Negative 7, 6x, so I have the right slope, plus 5, 6. So this one works. But I will always check the last one, just to make sure that I did it right. Because if this last one ended up working too, then I'd say, wow, were there two correct answers, or did I do something wrong? So I always check. Minus 7x, minus 7x, and I have negative 6y equals negative 7x plus 5. And I have to divide everything by negative 6. And you can see why this one does not work. I end up with y equals, I have a negative over a negative, so that's going to be a positive 7, 6x. So that one didn't work because it's not opposite. It is reciprocal, but it's not opposite. And I have a negative 5, 6. Like I said, some of these can be a lot of work, but it's always good to check them all. I am approaching the end. Which of the following is parallel to this one? Okay, well, I have my slope. My slope is right here. And I wanted to go through this point. I don't need to rewrite this in slope-intercept form. I know my slope. If it's parallel, my new slope will also be 5. This one has a slope of 5. The other ones, I'm not sure. They're not written in slope-intercept form yet. So let's take a look. I would have y minus 4 equals 5 times x minus negative 2, which would be plus 2. Unfortunately, that's not how any of my answers look, because that would be nice if it was, if I could just look and say, oh, there it is. But no, alas. Let's feed the birds. Y minus 4 equals 5x plus 10. Again, it's always good to look over. Did I have any of those? No. Let's add 4 to both sides. Y equals 5x plus 14. This one doesn't work. It's minus 14. It was close. This one, if I added 5x to both sides, I'm going to end up in the same place as that first one. I'm going to have y equals 5x minus 14. So that also doesn't work. This one, if I add 5x to both sides, notice I'm doing the easier ones first. I'm doing them kind of in order of easiness. I'll get y equals 5x plus 14, and that is what I'm looking for. But I don't let you off the hook that easy. We are going to do the last one also, just to make sure that one also isn't an answer. 5x plus 14. This one works. Okay, let's add 14 to both sides here. I am going to have a plus 14 on this one. And we have 5x plus y equals 14. My last step would be subtract 5x, and you'll notice I end up with the negative 5x. So this one will not work. Okay, y equals negative 5x plus 14. So D is my correct answer. I should always do D first. It seems like D is always my correct answer on these. Try to do as much work as I can, apparently. That's it. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.